Cheers.
Yes, brother.
How's it
Why are
going?
you looking fresh, man?
Bro, I literally look at my mum's a hairdresser, innit? So I've been calm the whole of lockdown.
All right, bro.
But like,
Allow me. It's a bit cold. Let me
bro,
let me let me
today's
drink
just
my
a
let me
hat
drink my
day.
tea.
Today's just a hat day, man. Yeah,
How you been, bro?
I've been golf this morning as well, so I have to look the part.
Man said golf.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
See,
How are you?
I can't connect with that, man. I don't do golf. Never done golf in my life.
Really? Wait, I'm gonna quickly jump off my Wi-Fi and go on 4G.
Yeah. No,
It might just. Are we back?
one set. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've started
We're
my
back.
Wi-Fi to get a bit dull. But yeah, man, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, bro. Like, as you know, doing these interviews, doing my thing.
Yeah, man. I've been keeping up with them, man. They've been looking so sick.
But yeah, like, I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm kind of bored now. I want to get out. Like, not even just get out clubbing, just get out in the sense of just meeting people, going restaurants, blah, blah, blah. But it's good. It's good. I can't complain. We're safe. But yeah, how are you, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Like, I'm not like when the lockdown first started, I was a bit down because I had such a good few months lined up. Like, I was about to go on tour with Sigma. And then obviously I had a lot of work abroad. So, and I'm only 18, obviously, as you know. So like, it was like my first real year of getting amongst it. And yeah, it's one of them though, man. Like, it's the same for everyone. You just got to try and use it in advantage, like what I have trying to been doing. Like, I've been doing, which obviously I'll get into later. But I've been doing like loads of work for Kiss at the minute. Just like during the lockdown, helping them out, and trying to work on a lot of music as well. Like really trying to up my production levels. So it's one of them, man. You just got to try and see a positive.
When you came into lockdown, did you think it was going to be a quick kind of period, or did you think it would be long?
I don't know. It was a weird one, man. Like at the start, it was like one of them where I think no one knew how serious it was actually going to be. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I just like you look into it and see when the clubs and bars and that all going to be reopened, but you can't actually like. No one knows, so there's like no point getting like looking forward to it. Like I've spoke to a lot of people in like when I've Majestic who I've been working with, who I'll speak about a bit later on. But I asked him like because I was hopefully going to try and catch the end of season in like Ibiza and Zante, and he was like, I just can't see it happening, man. Like,
the thing is it will open up over there, but it's us going there. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
My friends live in. Yeah, my friends live in Marbella, and over there it's fine. Like bars, shisha bars, restaurants are all opening, but us going there is a different story.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, man. So like going to your career. So when did you start DJing?
So I started DJing when I was 16, so like 2 years ago, and it's been a bit of a mad period because obviously I've only been playing out for like since I was like. Well, I started when I was 17. I used to play at a bar when that's what my age was, and I wasn't going to turn down an opportunity of playing. So yeah, I just played in a local bar in Leicester. I literally worked for free for like, I don't know, from maybe June till October, every Friday, Saturday night, completely for free. Didn't even own a penny, and that was a place called Locker Room. But then through there, I was like, it's where all the bar and club owners would sort of go for like where they'd like have a drink or whatever, and all the bigger DJs that are about at the time that are like headlining like residents of the bigger clubs. And it was a cool little way to network and premiere myself when I was just starting. Because not gonna lie, when I first started DJing, like I was still like I was playing to people, but I was still like, you know the difference like from playing in your room to playing to people. Like
see, that's the thing. No one really understands the jump. Yeah, when you're playing in your room to playing in a club or bar or whatever.
100%, and like that was one of the things that really struck me. But yeah, man, it was it was a wicked period, and I really did enjoy it because it was like my first taste of like playing out. And then like sort of the main reason I started DJing was because I've sort of been brainwashed since the day I've been born by my parents for house music. Like
so you grew up on house?
Yeah, like my mum, my dad, my stepdad, like they're all from that era from the 90s where house was like. So like since the day I was born, man, like house music's always been on in my house, so it's like I've never really had any other like I don't know choice, I guess. And Leicester is very predominantly R&B, like all the bars, clubs, it's very R&B. There's not many housey places, and when it is, it's quite baseline D&B. And with me, like I listen to R&B, whatever, I love all genres of music. But with me, obviously when you're a DJ, you have your own what you play.
Yeah, of course.
And I was thinking to myself, like, there's like you see everywhere else in the country, house music going off, man. Like it's really coming through, like all the disco tunes as well. And I was like, if people are enjoying this sort of music, in my head, this is my head, they're gonna, when they hear this music that makes me feel a certain way, it's gonna like, geez, man, they're gonna like, it's gonna switch the whole of the thing. And that was my main goal, like going into DJing. I just wanted to make people be educated on a wider, broader music, instead of the mainstream sort of thing that was going on. And that's what really motivated me from the start. So yeah, man, that's what the main reason I got into it.
Do you think it's hard to be a house DJ and go into R&B hip hop gig, or do you think, and vice versa? So if you were R&B hip hop DJ,
it was like I played everything. Like I played R&B, I played house. But now I'm at the stage where if I'm being booked, I'm mostly being booked for house events.
Yeah.
So I'm playing I play basically all house now. Like, and that also led, like, I got a local radio show as well on a station called Takeover, and I was on there, mate, literally from when did I start Takeover? Probably like the same time I started Locker Room.
Yeah.
So I was literally working it there for free. So I was literally on the radio for 2 hours, 8 till 10. I'd finish there, then go to Locker Room, play, and there used to be another lad that played as well. So he'd play from like 9 till 10, 11, then I'd jump off from 12 till 1, 2. So I was literally doing that Friday, Saturday night, every single weekend without earning a penny. And I must have done that for like, probably till like October time.
So when did you kind of think, I've got to start paying, like people got to start paying me now? Like, when did that thought come into your head, and why did it come in?
It wasn't even like, I wasn't doing it for the money. Like I just generally, I found this new passion with, obviously I had the passion, but I mean like with playing out, I was going out every weekend, I was networking, I was meeting loads of new people, and I was playing the music, and I'd seen people like listen to house music and see them enjoying it. For me, it's always been like, I've just been so passionate. Like you ask anyone that's around that close to me, like you won't meet anyone that's as passionate enough about this kind of music than me. So yeah, I got to the point where it was never really in my mind like I could make this like serious, like make this actually my full-time job like it is now. But yeah, it just, I guess the more people like the one thing that I must agree in, your network, your network is as big as your net worth. So the more people you meet, like for up and coming DJs, I'd always say, like, if you're willing to play for free, then you get, then that's it. You're already living it. So yeah, man. Yeah,
definitely. Like, you know what? It's massive for the next generation, like us lot, to come up. Like, how do you feel kind of knowing that these older, more experienced DJs are now kind of getting worried that us lot are coming up now, and we're kind of taking, not like necessarily taking over, but like just taking their sets here and there, or being on the warm-up set and stuff like that. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you?
Well, with me, because like my circle of people that I hang around with, like, I don't know if you've heard of, I'll get into it now. Have you heard of Majestic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically am Majestic's apprentice now. Yeah. And the way I literally got to know Majestic was he always goes live on Instagram. And I watched him at Reading I went to Reading Festival in 2016. Okay. And that's how I got him on Instagram. And he was live probably like in December time. Yeah. And it was like a late one, like he was live at like 2 a.m. And there was only probably like 25 people watching. So I just put in the comments like, "Hi, I'm an up and coming radio presenter DJ. It'd be amazing if you could give me some advice or something." And he was like, "Well, Marriot, DM me." So I DM'd him, ended up having a conversation, literally spoke for like half an hour, just giving me so much advice. Like, and then basically said, "Whereabouts are you based?" And I'm from Leicester and he's from London. He was like, "If you're from London, you could get involved." So time went on, I'd be keeping in contact with him and stuff like that. And then in August, he invited me down to Kiss to just help out on his show. Literally just sit there, do the track list, tell him about shouts, stuff like that. And then he did, and then we kept in contact via Instagram. And then in this December, he does his show in London called Limitless. Yeah. Well, it's like his headline show. And he DM'd me, they sent me a voice note, and he was like, "You come in Limitless this weekend." I'd already bought a ticket. So I was going just for I wanted to support his thing, and obviously how much he supported me. Yeah. And he was like, "All right, well, you'll love this. How about instead of that, why don't you like help me out? You be a runner, help my manager out, Sove, basically look after all the artists. Yeah, basically just give his manager Soph a hand throughout the day. So I was like, mate, I'd absolutely love to. So travelled down to London that day, got the train, all that sort of stuff. And then the lineup for Limitless was like Joel Curry, Hayley May sang Sorry, Sigma was the special guest.
Yeah.
Sean Dean, loads of other people. There's people that have been, there's like loads of people. That guy that goes Gun Fingers, If You're a Real Wave, what's his name? Slick Don. And so many massive people in the industry that, and it was just sort of with me, like, I was like, I remember sticking up the dressing room things, and I was like, mate, this is mental. It was like my first real look into it, and I was like, mate, Joel Curry's going to be, Sigma's going to be in this reel at half an hour.
Yeah.
And it was like, just like, I was, when I got added to a group chat with like Joel Curry, like so many different people. And I was like, this in a group chat with these people, like, what is going, this is mental. Bear in mind, I was literally just, I'd only started playing to a crowd in June, and this was all happening by December the following year. And then at the after party, because Sigma turned up a bit later, and he was the special guest at the after party, I got chatting to one of Sigma's friends, who I think's involved with like organising all Sigma's tours and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then Cam from Sigma, so I just got talking to them at the after party for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Just telling about everything I'm doing, how I've been helping out with Majestic, like working with Majestic, sort of took me under his wing. And then 2 days later, I got a DM saying, would like you to come on the student tour and be on support if you're up for it. Starts in March. So I was like, mate, that'd be absolutely unreal. So that's how it sort of led to the Sigma tour. But then the weekend after Limitless, Majestic invited me down to warm up for his event in his local town in Hartford.
Yeah.
So it was Majestic, Artful Dodger, Sweet Feel My Attitude, He Sings Flowers, MC Viper, MC Kai's, so many different like people in the industry.
So all the garage, funky house crew,
yeah. So it was like a garage house event. And where it is in Hartford is this place called the White Hart, and they do an event called Exile, and they just do like loads of different events. And then just got speaking to the guy who owns the White Hart, Liam, who has supported me massively. Like he books me now, like once a month to play. It's like a pub, but it's like a pub club. Like it's weird. Like yeah, the White Hart in Hartford. So yeah, and then I play this event all the time called Exile now, who this guy called Steve runs it, and he's been massively supportive of me. Yeah. And then yeah, from there, like my relationship with Majestic, like massively, like he's just now massively just took me under his wing. Literally, like, so for example, when he was on tour with Example, he I just messaged him like, it'd be wicked if I could like come down and just because I seen it as an opportunity to network and just experience what it was like in that. And then that night, like, was the first night I've really experienced like, this is the industry I'm getting into, because he had a show in Cardiff after Nottingham. So we literally finished in Nottingham at like 7, drove to Cardiff through the night, got to Cardiff for like 12:30. He played 1, and then we also still on the Example tour on the Sunday was. So we had to drive through the night from Cardiff to Manchester. We got to Manchester about 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock. Like, and it was just like, just experiencing that, like, just literally did 3 different cities in one night. It was just mental. Like, just
so you were on the road. You were on the road, bro. Like from early.
Just having an insight from like, I'm honestly, I'm forever grateful, man. Like, the other day on Radio 1, Craig David, Scott Mills, and the other lad that's on were talking about Majestic, saying how an amazing guy and how supportive he is, and how for the up and coming, like, if you ever need anything, someone to reach out to, he's your man. Like, and I've just been very lucky that that like our paths have crossed, and I've sort of been able to.
I'm gonna ask you this: what sets you apart from other DJs? Why is your set unique, and why do people come to your set?
Because I think with me, I don't know. I feel like with my sets, I'm fairly unique. Like with the house scene at the minute, it's going very minimal and very deep. With me, because I've got that, like, I'm the old school sort of. I love my vocal house, my piano-y house, so that 90s vibe. And when you like speak to people, like a lot of people that are mainly like, I like to speak to girls about it, because I feel like you get a good vibe. If a girl that's like maybe into the mainstream, you've got a vibe, they're like, oh, I hate that when it's just a continuous beat. And to be fair, I don't even rate. I do rate minimal. Like I said, I'm into all music, but for me, minimal house doesn't do anything for me. Like deep house doesn't really do anything for me. But when it's like a proper piano-y vocal.
See, I like soulful house, but I'm not really into house. So what's the kind of scene at the moment? So like, is it thriving? Like, what's
man? Like,
was it better before, or is it better now?
So I was saying to my friend the other day, there's disco is massively, like, I love disco, and it's proper like coming back through now. If you listen to Radio 1, like Danny Howard or Annie Mac's show, it's all disco. And for me, like, that's all like vocal house, all that sort of vibe. And mate, like, that's like literally like me, like to a T, like everything I'm into. So yeah, like, it's definitely like, especially with Defected and everything like that, like Defected Records are massive. Like they do the Glitter Box, which is all disco. Like obviously like Ibiza and that, like it's predominantly, that's why I love it. I went Ibiza last year and I literally fell in love with it, because everywhere you go, it was just like, this whole island just represents everything I'm about. So yeah, man.
90s house is number one. So with your DJing, where do you want to take it? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I'm a massive believer in the law of attractions, man. Like, I believe if you truly believe in that you're going to do something with your life, then you'll really, and you put the work in and you're willing to do all the work, you'll do it, man. So yeah, like, I just want to keep, I won't want to say where I'm going to be, because
but what's the aim? What's the main aim? What's the biggest achievement? What's the main aim for you?
Just to like be regularly getting booking abroad, like Ibiza, and like I'd love to play like places like Mambo. Like I had booking in Ocean. I do still hopefully have a booking at Ocean. I had a few bookings at Ocean Beach this summer. So for me was like massive. Like I want to be on the radio. Like I've got a bit of a show on Kiss starting on the 17th of July on the Kiss Fresh. So I want to be on the radio. I want to just keep it like, because like with me, like I literally went from playing at my local bar, and then 6 months later I was on tour with Sigma. Yeah. So like I've done this, like all of that in like the space of what, like.
Do you think that helps you, like getting gigs as well? Like if you ask them, if they ask you what's your CV looking like, you give them that. Do you think that sets you apart?
Massive. Like if I go to like a promoter and says I've just been on tour with Sigma, like it sort of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, yeah, like, and just being around with, like, learning on people like Majestic, and like the last few weeks during this like lockdown period, Andrew Wilco, who's like one of the main executive like producers at Kiss, I've literally been helping him out. Like, so like all the Majestic shows, I've been doing his track lists. I've been doing so much other stuff, man. Like just like networking, and when you find out who the people are, like, who are like there, who are going to be the people that are going to get you in the door. Like Majestic said to me so many times, he said, I can open these doors for you, but then it's up to you to get your foot in.
Yeah.
So like I don't mind, like.
I totally agree with that, because it's like no one's going to hold your hand through the whole situation.
Yeah. Like it's literally with me, like I've worked, I've put the graft in, like, so far, like, and it doesn't even feel like graft. Like when I say to people like, oh yeah, I worked at Locker Room and did a radio show for like 5 months completely for free, Friday, Saturday night, working till 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Without earning a penny. I didn't really care, because at the time, like, I loved it, man. Like, and I still do it. I mean, like, when I was like first being introduced to it, I loved it. So now, me doing work for Kiss for free, like, you do stuff for free, which then leads on to doing
some more bigger things.
Like, yeah, of course, man. And like, and when you do stuff for free, it also shows people that you're not just in it for the clout or the money. Like, I don't give a shit about
going with that as well. Like, a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to be a DJ, especially in this period. Like, back in the day, it still was hard, but it was a bit easier with this. There was less saturation of DJ, but now the game is oversaturated. So how hard is it to be a DJ for you? Yeah, and also what advice and how did you kind of get into the clubbing scene in that sense? Like, what advice would you give to other people?
So now, especially, sorry, I kept cutting you off then. In the house, you can't just be a good DJ now. You need to be producing and bringing out music. And that was like my step, like during lockdown, was like, I can with me, I can put a track together, I can produce, but then I'd always feel like I couldn't get it sounding like there. But during this lockdown, man, like, I've literally spent so much time on Ableton, and I've sort of neglected my decks, and I've just spent it all on production and just been focusing purely on that. I work with a guy called Matt, who's like an incredible engineer producer, who's been helping me out so much. Like, how my tracks and stuff like when I'll like lay down an idea. So I'll like lay down like a mini EP of a track for like, and then I'll send it over to him. We'll have a chat on the phone. I'm working with like 4 different singers at the minute on tracks. I've written a song the other day with this girl called Beth on FaceTime, and honestly, mate, like it was sounding so good, so good. So
you're gonna release it?
Yeah, that's my next step now. I want to release music. Like I've said, I want to try and get it out before the 17th of July when my show on Kiss Fresh is, so I can really premiere it on there. But like the way I got that show on Kiss Fresh was just because I've been working for Kiss for free for the last, like few months or whatever, and then they said, as a way of saying thank you, you can have an hourly slot on Kiss Fresh on the 17th of July. So yeah, man, it's literally just like.
Do you think radio is dying out?
Nah, not at all, man. Like a lot of people say that, but when you look at the numbers and stuff, that Kiss are still pulling in on a Friday night and Radio 1 and stuff like that, you realise it's not. And like when there's still, for example, Radio 1 dance tents at festivals, or Radio 1 Big Weekend, or the Kiss FM when Kiss do Kisstory things in Ibiza or Kisstory nights everywhere, man. Like, and they sell them out like that because people are still on radio, man. Like it's a massive thing, and if you can get into it, like it's also a great way of networking. Like even when I'm on Takeover, that's just for the Midlands. So it's like Leicester, Nottingham, Birmingham, mate. I'll gain like 5 followers every Friday. Have people DMing me saying they're listening just because they're in the car, and it just tunes in when they're around the city centres. So for me, like, yeah, it's wicked, man. It's wicked.
Okay, well, do you think? Okay, maybe it's not dying out, but do you think it's just the different type of genres? Because with house music, it's easier to kind of pick up new songs from the radio than with hip hop and R&B. You can easily get off Spotify or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like when I first started, I think we're all the same. Like I used to download my music off like YouTube and shit like that. And then when I started getting into it, I was like, mate, like it's shit. So like now, I literally cleared my whole album and just put everything on Beatport, because on Beatport is all the new house stuff, mainly. And then and then once you start networking with more people, you start getting sent in on like mailing lists. Like I'm on quite a few mailing lists now, which is quite sick. So yeah, I definitely think radio's still like always going to be there, man. Like, I don't think it's dying out at all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what is it about house music that you prefer over R&B, hip hop, and that kind of genre?
Like, I think just the way it makes me feel, man. Like my house is sort of, like I said, like I would go down on a Sunday morning, my mum's dancing around the kitchen to a house tune, and it's always been like that since like I used to get picked up from primary school, mate. And there used to be a 90s house CD on the car. Like I've never known anything else other than. So with me, like the passion I had for it was always there, and I think like I said, my main goal was never to. It was just I wanted to bring house music properly to Leicester now, and now I sort of like this year. There's a bar in Leicester called Arbor, which is mainly predominantly R&B, and they do these.
Yeah, I was seeing that video you posted. I was watching that.
Yeah. They do R&B. There's just an R&B bar, but in the summer they do these garden parties. And my main goal when I started DJing, I was like, I want to play like garden party. And now this summer, I spoke to the promoter the other day, and hopefully, if it goes ahead, I'm going to be like one of the headliners, stuff like that. So mate, like for me, like even little things like that, like a year ago, if you spoke to me a year ago, I would have said like my main goal is I want to play the Arbor garden parties. And now, this summer, there's going to be like, obviously there would have been a few already on the bank holidays. But yeah, man, it is what it is.
See, that's the thing. That garden party will be one of the first things back anyway, because clubbing won't be back for time. Like that's just full stop. It won't be back.
I've had a couple bookings as well for a few garden parties in London. That Exile at the Whitehall, they've rescheduled that for the 22nd of August. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, that's when they're
Watch it when they see it back. They're like, we haven't even scheduled it in yet.
That's when they said they want to try and reschedule it for. So I don't know. Like I'm trying to. I think I've seen in Leicester as well. They're doing a social distancing. Like there's DJs I know called Tall Order, with really good DJs. Like they've played Ibiza Rocks, they do Forbidden, and they're 2 lads as well that I massively looked up to. Like when I first started and still do now. But they're playing a social distancing event. Like everyone, like they've got loads of tables in this beer garden, I think it is, or something like that, and it's like 40 quid a table. You just gotta stay on your table and they're playing tunes and that. So yeah, man.
What countries do you want to tour and DJ in after quarantine? And what cities
so this summer I had quite a bit. I had some work lined up in Marriot.
Yeah.
And then during lockdown, I messaged the guy that owns White Party in Zante, which is like the biggest, one of the biggest events in Zante, and they play house music as well. So I messaged him because I remember I had a conversation with him, because I was on a lads holiday in Zante last year, and I had a convo with him, and I got his Instagram then. And I messaged him, and he was like, if there's a season, you can come over, I'll let you know, I'll know in a few weeks. But I messaged him, and he's like, I don't know, mate, with all the riots and stuff, it really isn't, or the protests, it isn't really looking like it's maybe might not happen this summer. But there's still like someone I've networked with, you know what I mean, for next summer.
Yeah.
So hopefully next summer, man, like I really want to be just playing all the resorts, man. I want to be in Zante, I want to be in Ibiza, I want to be in Marriot, like I want to be traveling around and just, yeah, man, just like literally, like with me, I don't want to, because I'm so open to it, because like literally, like I said, like, it's just been the maddest 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
In the space from playing a little small bar to then being around the biggest like names about, like, so yeah, man, I just hope it continues after lockdown.
Do you think it's easy being a house DJ, or do you think it's still difficult with the oversaturation of DJs, or do you think it's easier than the R&B hip hop?
I think because R&B, so there's a lot of R&B DJs, but then there's a lot of house DJs. So I think it's the same for every drummer, man. Like if you're willing to put the work in and network and meet as many people as you can, everyone's sort of in the same playing field. So yeah, man, like if you're willing to put the work in, you can do anything, man. I'm a true believer in that. If you're willing to put the work in, you can really do anything in the life.
Would you want to move away for a season?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to do a season in Ibiza, man, or like anywhere. To be fair, I don't want to like name it like a place. I'd love to do a season somewhere, just because I was speaking to a videographer who does a lot of work abroad, and he was like, when you do these seasons, every single, I say in Ibiza, every single person in the industry is in Ibiza. So the amount of networking you can do is like ridiculous. So yeah, man, and I think it definitely leads to, when you do a season somewhere, you get to know all the people that own all the clubs, so it then leads to future work. So yeah, man, I think so. I think I'd love to. Like literally anything, man. Like I've always said, like I'd love to do anything I possibly can in the industry. If that's like, if I have to work for free, if I have to, I know in the future it will, like I said, as big as your network is, that's it. Like, so, yeah,
what's your take on reality TV stars going into DJ?
It's funny you say that, because I was talking about this the other day. Like, so for example, someone like Joel Curry, who I've met a few times now, I've had a lot of conversations with him. Obviously with him, he went on Geordie Shore. He then got into his DJing. But when you talk to him, mate, he's been DJing since he was like 15. Like, when he released Sorry, that was like his 15th, 16th release. Like, he was releasing tunes before Geordie Shore and stuff like that. Like, if somebody can go to a club, make $4,000 from playing an hour set, because they've been on Love Island, mate, like, I can't really knock that. Like, man, everyone's gonna make dough, you know what I mean? So if I went on Love Island and then I started getting a shitload of bookings in for $4,000 every weekend, I'm not gonna go, nah, sorry, because I don't, you know what I mean? So I don't. If you've done the work before and if you're already into it, or maybe you find the passion later on, because some people, obviously there'll be people that think, oh, it's a quick book, I can just DJ. But then if there's people that have been on Love Island or been on Geordie Shore and then found the passion later on of DJing, I ain't really got much against it, man. If someone can turn up and make $4,000 in an hour, that's how it is. I
don't know many people making $4,000 in an hour like that.
Well, say for example $2,000. Say $2,000. Say someone turned up to the club appearance, mate, got paid $2,000 by the club. Yeah, you can't really knock it, man.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, I think for me personally, I'd rate like what Joel Curry's doing. Like, that's a pure example. Like, or like Kem, because I know what Kem's doing. Like, he's asked people like Max Denham to teach him DJ. He's not just jumping on and being like, I want a DJ. Like, that's why I rate those people. But if you got people who use that platform to start DJing to get gigs, like, and I don't agree with that
as well.
Definitely, because like obviously people don't understand. Like, nowadays, it's so easy to pick up a deck. Decks cost £100, like second hand. Serato you can get for free. So like, you know what I mean? It's easy to start in that sense.
Yeah, definitely,
man. What's your take on the actual DJ scene at the moment? Like, obviously not during quarantine, but just in general, do you think it's a level playing field? Do you think not? Do you think there's a lot of competition and rivalry, or?
I don't know, man. Like, with me, I never sort of, I don't know, like, I don't really, I'm quite tunnel vision with what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the type of guy to like look at other DJs and like get pissed off and envy them. When I look at someone doing well, man, it motivates me to do as well as they're doing. Like, I don't really see the scene as like man, let people, like, I don't know, like, it's a weird one because I don't, like I said, I have a lot of friends in the DJ community, but they're friends. I don't really read into it too much what's going on with like the politics of DJing. You know what I mean? Like, I think I just like, I just do my own thing, man, and then just try and be good with everyone I meet, man. Like, because if people see that you're a good person, they're gonna give you opportunities. If you're like,
definitely
slagging other DJs off and saying, oh, then it always gets back to them, man. So I ain't about that. Like with me, like, I've had so many setbacks, man. Like, when I first started, I got offered a residency at a club, and I literally, but basically after locker room, I went to this other club, and it was like, mate, it was like, it's like an older club, so it's like full of 40-year-olds, mate, and it was grim. But
that is grim.
Like, mate,
I don't.
So I left there, and then I got offered a residency at one of the biggest clubs in Leicester. So I left. I left. It's called Fan Club where I was playing. I left there because I thought I had this residency, and then like, I don't know, like, I went in for a chat and then basically offered it me, and then I just didn't really hear anything back. Like, they didn't really reply to my DMs and that. And that sort of stuff motivates me. And then on New Year's Eve, I played that club, supported Danny Howard, co-headlined it. So with me, like, it don't really piss me off. It just makes me more motivated. And then the satisfaction I get out of, like, they may have like, I don't know. I don't want to say mugged me off because I don't know what happened. Stuff could have broke down. They could have had a funding thing. I don't know. But then when I've been able to go back there on New Year's Eve, play their biggest night, support one of my heroes, Danny Howard, like, yeah, man, I'm just grateful for that.
Bro, it's like, it's a sick journey just listening, man. Like, you know, like, there's so much more to come. That's the thing. Like, what's your kind of first steps out of quarantine? Like, what's the first thing you're doing?
I think definitely, man, like, I wanna definitely keep doing what I'm doing at Kiss. Like, I see my chance on Kiss because obviously I'm going to be on Kiss Fresh. Like, that, mate, is going to be one of the biggest opportunities I've ever had in my life, and I really need to smash that, man. Like, so if anyone wants fancy listening, Kiss Fresh, 7th of July, make sure you tune in. But
I'm
yeah,
there, don't worry, I'm listening, bro.
But
send me the deets.
I'm gonna premiere a lot of my own music, and loads of other stuff, man. Because like, every single person, like, when I spoke to Madge, like, this is your chance, man. Like, this is the opportunity, like, I've been waiting for with radio. With this summer, like, I'm only 18, man, so I've still got so much time. Like, that's what a lot of people say to me. Like, I tell them what I've done. Like, mate, you've toured with Sigma at 18, man. I was still getting pissed on a park at 18. But with me, like, I don't think when you're doing it, you can probably relate this as well. When people say, "Oh, you're doing sick, man," you don't really see it because it's you. You know what I mean? Like, because you're doing it and you're living in the moment, and like mate, like, I slept, like, even little things like, mate, I was sleeping on Example's tour bus. Yeah. And then you're on FaceTime to one of your mates, and like, mate, you're fucking on Example's tour bus. Then you take a step back, and you've just spent the whole day with someone like Example and like his whole team, and you're like, this is actually like a bit mad. Like,
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, like, man, I love it, man. Like, I really do, and I try and always think positive, and I always try and, like, if you truly, like I said earlier, like, if you truly believe you're going to do something, and you think, and you literally have tunnel vision where there's no, because obviously everyone has mental doubts, man. Everyone has mental doubts where they think it might not go your way, or you might get like a side job with it. But like, everyone I've spoke to in the industry, like, if you put 100% into what you're doing and you keep your tunnel vision, you'll do it, man. And yeah, that's the sort of vibe I've been trying to keep, is keeping positive about everything. And yeah,
I think definitely, like, you have to stay in your own lane. You can't follow what other people are doing, because you can take tips, but I wouldn't say follow, because it could work for them. It may not even work for you. They've already paved that way.
Being able to learn off someone like Majestic, who's doing, like, I seen a quote the other day, and it was like, learn off the people, or like, so it was like something, learn off the people that are doing today what you want to do tomorrow, or something like that. And like, being able to regularly speaking to him and helping him out on his sets, and being a runner at all his events, and then that leading to the Sigma tour, and then being really close with the Sigma lads, like, literally they're a message away. People like Joel Curry, I speak to quite a bit now on WhatsApp and stuff like that. Even like these people saw his numbers, and just having that relationship with them, like, it's massive, man.
You know what? There's one thing, like, with them following you. The other thing is getting their number.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
people
yeah.
think, oh yeah, they follow you, but like, okay, cool, but are you even on levels where
Yeah,
you're
I don't think
on
Joker.
when you got your?
I don't think Joker even follows me. I just speak to her on Instagram and that. I mean, on WhatsApp. But then, like, I remember on New Year's Eve, like when I supported Danny Howard, my mate was doing some videography for me, and I was like to him afterwards. I thought, oh mate, he's got some wicked videos. I was sending them over, and he was like, oh yeah, how do you want me to send them? I was like, oh, just give me your number if you want, mate. So then I got Danny Howard's number, and then some tunes I've been working on, I've sent over to him. He's gave me advice on them, and he's like a Radio 1 man. So like with me, if I can get a banging tune out, and I've got the opportunity,
You push it
send it
out
to
there.
Danny Howard at Radio 1, and then Majestic at Kiss, who has the main Friday night show. Andrew Wilco, who's the head producer at Kiss.
Yeah,
like it is like a lot about who you know, like. But then again, like you need to put yourself in these positions to meet these people.
Do you find it weird how like when you started, you know, you were younger, and then now you're 18, and like there's people who are younger starting and even doing not roughly the same things, but achieving like what sometimes we couldn't even achieve when we were younger. So do you think it's like mad how they're doing that, or do you think, you know what, it's sick because we need more people younger coming up?
Well, with me, like I've got a lot of like up and coming DJs that I speak to, because with me, I feel like, say for example, everything goes to plan, in 10 years time I'm at the level I want to be, and then up and coming DJs are DMing me asking me for advice, because I've had that helping hand from Madge, and I've been around and he's helped me out so much, man. Like, it opened so many doors for me. I would be exactly the same to people that are coming up as well, just because I've experienced that. And similar with Madge, like Madge had EZ as his guy, so it like sort of spirals on. And like when DJs help each other, man, like I just don't like, we're all part of the same community, and like if you're going to be negative of each other and put each other down, like not put each other down, like criticism's good, but I mean, like there's a lot of dickheads in the community, man, that are very tunnel vision, a lot of egos, and I ain't about that. Like,
you know what? It's because when money comes into play, no one, like, you know, the thing is, there's one thing to say in text and in a message, but the other thing is to actually put it into the real world. And like, if you're gonna say, if you're gonna say I'm gonna help someone, don't just do that in the text. I'm not like, this isn't to you, by the way. I'm just saying in general. Like, and then come into the clubbing scene, you know, the DJ's getting 1K, they don't want to give split it or whatever.
Yeah, fully, man. But like, I think as well, like for up and coming DJs watching this, like when you do start coming in the scene at the start, you're gonna realize like promoters and stuff like that are sometimes like, because obviously they're doing a job as well. Like, you have to sort of earn your respect and earn like,
definitely.
If you're like DM a promoter who runs the biggest night, he's not going to reply to your DM. So like with me, the bar I used to play at was owned by the same guy that owned the biggest club in Leicester. So I always seen that as like a spiral up.
So it's easy. Is it easy way to kind of get there?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I would say, like work. Like if you're willing to work for free, like then it just shows, man. Like it was sort of. I've just been very fortunate now, where like before lockdown, I was doing 3-4 shows a weekend. I was been able to up my prices after being saying I was on tour with on tour with Sigma, involved with the Example tour. Working at Kiss, like getting involved with what they're doing there. So yeah, man, it all helps, man. Like so
after with the prices sort of thing as well, how do you know how to price yourself? 2, the competition with DJs is massive between pricing. So do you lower it or do you keep it the same? And also after quarantine, what do you do with your pricing?
So I think with like prices and stuff like that for DJs, like I always see what they say first. Like we'll get you into do an hour set, say 150 quid. Like with me, it's sort of like if I can fit in, especially in the summer, man. Like because I was planning on doing like I was going to spend a few days in Marriot, fly back, do bookings here, if I can do, especially in the summer, like 3 garden parties and then a club night in the evening, and I'm getting 150 quid per set, and you're like driving about to all these places, like mate, that's like, more than happy with me. Like I said, it's never been about the money for me. Like it's always been. I think when you're, especially my age, like if you get offered an amazing opportunity, but saying you've got to play for free, like when I've supported Arthur Dodger Majestic Suite from Attitude, I played that for free. But like I suppose someone like Arthur Dodger, who's one of the biggest legends in the garage game, then proved to Majestic more how hungry and willing I am to get involved with this. Like, I remember MC Kai's Majestic's MC, like I spoke to him and he just literally went to me like, you are gonna, like, he said like, you are gonna go to the very top, mate, like in my face saying to it. And for me, like, that was just like, I remember it gave me goosebumps, man. Like, we back?
Sorry, bro. What? Yeah, we're back.
We back, sorry.
What were you saying?
Yeah, man, like, even someone like MC Kai's, who I know has travelled around with Merge the whole summer, like, and him saying that to me, like, mate, you're going to go to the very top, like, you're doing everything you need to do. Like, to me, that's just like, that was when it really hit, like, mate, I could actually do something in this. Like, I like look around and you're like, this makes you like more, like, especially when I was just on the examples, when I was working on and helping out on the example tour, like, just watching Elliot, it was obviously examples just a singer, but watching him and just seeing everyone going mad. And you're just like, mate, I just remember looking around and just taking a deep breath and just thinking like I want this, like, I want to be involved in this, like, sleeping on a tour bus, like, chilling, like, playing FIFA on a tour bus. It's like, mate, it gives you that motivation and that drive. Like, and when you realise as well, they're just normal people, and you have these conversations with them, and then you just realise, like, there's no difference between you and I. They've just put the work in, network well, and yeah, man, like, you just realise, because I think there's a big perception of celebs, like, they look at them, they're like, or people that have made it, like, bigger people in the industry. When you talk to them, just one human, like, I've had so many, like, journeys when, like, especially, like, when you drive, when you spend a lot of time with Majestic, he's the most realest guy, man, I've ever met in my life. Like, Craig David was on Radio 1 the other day, just saying, like, he's the realest guy, he's the realest of the real, he's always helping people out, he's always, like, and if you're like that, man, like, the universe will give you good stuff, man. If you, like, are good to people and you're nice to people and you're, like, I'm a massive, I'm not even like hippie shit, there's nothing about that. I just think, like, whenever you, like, I'm very into my motivational videos as well. Like, I watch a load of motivational videos on YouTube and that, and everyone everyone always says it, like, if you are just tunnel vision and you believe that you're going to do something without any negative doubts, and, like, you'll do it, man. Like, and
definitely.
So yeah.
Do you think you're gonna? Okay, and actually, I'm gonna ask this one. So, with people releasing songs at the moment, like, obviously a lot of artists are releasing songs. Do you think one, this is the best time to do it in? Two, like, when we come out of quarantine, like, it's gonna be what, 6 months old. So, do you think you'd be playing these songs in the clubs or not?
I think there's going to be so much good music that comes out of this period, because every producer DJ is at home. Like, the thing, like, mate, I've literally, the last 3 weeks, I've been on FaceTime calls with singers, Matt, who I work with on all my production, writing music. I'd finish a FaceTime call and go on with another girl, write another tune. But yeah, like, I think it's a great time to I don't know, you can flip it, you can look at it one way. It's a great time to bring out music because everyone's at home, everyone's on their phones, it's going to boost on it, like, everyone's morale, music brings us all together. But then on the other hand, where if you release a tune now, this summer, or if you release it next summer, it's going to get played at places like Ocean Beach. It's going to get, if it did well, like all the clubs, where more people are going to hear it because it's been played by other DJs than saying just releasing it now. And then, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can look at it on both sides, man.
Have you had any bad experiences with club promoters or managers?
So similar to, like, what I was saying with how I got offered the residency at the club in, oh wait, you there? Yeah, cool. Yeah, how I got, are you there?
Just lost you, bro.
Right, yeah. So I was just saying, like, how, what was the question? Promoters, but yeah. So basically, similar to what I was saying earlier about how when I got offered that residency at the club in Leicester, and, like, I went in for an interview, meeting, chat. It was all basically laid down, and then you've also just said bye to the other club. Like you said, I don't want to, like, I got offered anything. It's been amazing, and then you sort of a bit like, they're not even replying to my DMs now, mate. And that was, like, right at the start when I just finished playing at Locker Room. And, mate, that was a massive kick in the teeth. Like, I remember just, like, I was so, like I just remember feeling my heart drop, like, when you messaged them, like, 5 times and they're all just seeing and they're not replying. Yeah. But then it sort of, at the same time, made me grit my teeth and made me just want to work. And then, like I said, New Year's Eve, I played there, supported Danny Howard, was on before and after, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's swings and roundabouts, and you always don't know the whole story behind it, because when I spoke to people, like, the guy did apologise. He was just like, a lot of stuff just broke down, like, with funding and stuff like that. So I never want to like slag off a promoter and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, promoters are the ones that are going to get us in and say, "Oh, you didn't reply to my DMs, you got me," because you never know what's really going on behind the scenes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'll definitely say for that. But no, I'm not about really any bad experiences, because I feel like I try and really make a point of being a nice person when you speak to these people and you're telling what you're doing. They sort of respect you back.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yeah.
Which
sure.
with your DJing, do you want to stick with house then, or do you want to venture out into different genres and play different genres? Like you may play it in your set, but actually go into it properly.
Yeah. Like I said, I can play all different genres, because I learned that when I was playing at Locker Room. So the club, the bar I was playing at, I was forced to learn different genres instead of just house, so which helped me massively, man. But like I said, I'm now sort of at the stage where all the events I'm getting booked are house events, and obviously all my radio shows, they're all dance music. So yeah, like say for example I was playing in Marriot or Napa, where it was like a bit of a mixed crowd, man, I'd play everything. Like also would like, I love old school R&B. I like make Dave, for example. I know you won't probably play Dave in your sets, but Dave is one of my favorite artists there is. Like I listen to Dave on a regular basis. Like that tune Environment and that whole album is just all about being an up and coming artist and the struggles and everything. And you can, when you listen to the lyrics and some of that, like you can relate with it so much. Like I love it, man. But when it comes to going out for me, I will listen to dance music. I will listen to a naughty piano tune and just like so.
So how comes you don't sing or rap?
Say again.
I said, how comes you don't sing or rap, or do you?
I don't say because I can't, mate.
Get into it. It'll be easier for you.
I do write. Like I've been proper like this lockdown. I've properly got into songwriting. Like and it's really good when you work with a singer. Like the girl I've been working with, she went to Brit School, so the same place. Adele. Like so many different artists have been.
Yeah,
when you're working with someone,
Brit's literally around the corner from me. It's like 10 minutes away.
So when you're literally working with someone who's naturally gifted at writing, and then you're coming, because I came up with an idea the other day. I was gonna play it, but I might keep it. Yeah, but anyway, I came up with like a cool little hook the other day, and I sent it her, and we were on FaceTime, and I was literally giving her ideas. She was giving me ideas, and it worked so well. Like it was just sparring off, and we've ended up writing this tune, man. And honestly, like, I'm so excited for it. Like it's a really well written song. Like when I was talking to Matt, the guy I work with, who's like my engineer, he was like, I was like, my vision is I want to make a tune with that 90s sound but with a modern twist, and I want it to be able to go off on the radio. I want it to be able to go off at dance tents. I want it to be able to hit a commercial crowd but underground, like the Sonny Fodera, MK, that sort of vibe. Because like and as soon as you have a tune out there, like that's the key, because as soon as you've got a tune out there, you're an established artist. Like 10, 20 years ago, you could just be a very good DJ and get bookings, but now you need tunes out there. So yeah, and I've sort of been very fortunate with the people around me that I put myself in the position now where when I do have tunes, I can send it to someone like Madge and he can give me advice on it, say, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? And then when it is ready, I've got people like Danny Howard, who's just a message away, that I say, what do you think of this? Like, and you never know, man. Like, so yeah. That's what
what? It's a hard game. It is a hard game. Like, as both of us know, and like whoever, what other DJs are in the chat at the moment, just like it's just about content and just trying to be something unique and find that niche part in the market.
Definitely, man. And I feel like as well, like with me, I think the main reason why at the start I kind of felt different because in Leicester everyone is R&B. There's not many house DJs, and the house.
So that makes it easier for you then.
The house DJs that are about are very minimal and deep, and with me, I'm very like when the promoters used to say to me like, "What kind of house do you play?" I was like Beaver style house, like summery vibe, that sort of like that American Chicago old school sound that I've been educated on from my parents. It's gave me the passion to like mate, like even like a good example, like music sounds better with you. That tune, like ooh, like that sort of tunes. I'm dropping them sort of tunes in my set because people hear them like that's a tune. Like even like people that are into R&B and that, like when I play a garden party, for example, R-Bar, it's gonna be mainly people that are just R-Bar customers who are like, there'll be a lot of DJs that will go down there and just play a deep, minimal tech sound. But with me, I'm just gonna go and just play like the tunes that people know, like them old school sort of vibe. Like play tunes like "Show Me Love," just because I remember when I spoke to a DJ and he was like, when you stop giving a shit about what the DJs behind you are thinking of your set and you're just playing tunes to make them people dance, like that was that really did stick with me when he said that, because I think when I first started, I played to try and impress the guy that was running the event, but then now I just play to make people dance, man. And like, I've got, over the years or over the last few months, I've really focused on how to read a crowd and like,
where do you buy your music, Will?
Beatport, bro. Same as you. Like I was saying earlier, like when I first started, when like you're not really making much money, like we used to download it off sites and that. But then now, because I'm in the industry and I'm now releasing music, man, all Beatport. I literally cleared my whole album of tunes I've downloaded. So yeah, purely Beatport now.
Is there any other good record pools to use for house music, or is that like the main one to use?
I don't know, man, because I used to use Beatport, but now I'm on quite a few mailing lists. So a lot of my music I get sent a lot of albums. Like I get sent a couple albums a week of new music. So yeah, I don't know. Beatport's probably the best. Like, but when I remember when we were in the Example tour, and one of the Livesy, who's a D&B DJ, he was saying, "Fucking hell, £2 for a track." And Madge went, "Mate, I used to pay £12 for a record back in the day." So when you do things like that, paying £1.99 for a track on Beatport back in the day, mate, I was paying like, you know what I mean, for white vinyl records, you're talking 12. And back then, mate, 12 quid was more than it is now.
That's a lot, yeah. How do you kind of utilize your social media to keep yourself active and keep yourself, you know, your name in the game still?
Yeah, with me, like I try to go live on Instagram. Like I went live last night. I try to go live on Instagram quite regularly, like especially this period. I was just like, I go live. I show a lot of the tunes I've been working on. When I bring out a mix, I'll try and post about it. Like I did a post over there, and I was like, I've released a new mix to soundtrack your weekend ahead. So yeah, through this period, I've been trying to keep very active on social. But like before this, on the Sigma tour, I deliberately I got a lad who's from Hartford called Steve, and he's so sick at videography. I don't know if you see my Sigma video, but like, mate, like video.
No, I saw it.
Yeah, unreal, man. Like, and that's what I used to promote this as well. And I paid like 150 quid for him to come down. But then like it's an investment. Like the other day, I went to a guy called Aaron, had a load of press pics done. That was the other day I had all them done, just because I know like when my show on Kiss, my show on Kiss Fresh, when it just happened, they're gonna obviously need a press pic. I want it to look professional. I want it to look good. So yeah, man. Like sort of with me, like all the money that I make, I sort of invest it back into the brand. So like, say for example, with the Sigma tour, whatever I was getting paid for that one show, 90% of that wage was going into my videographer. Because like I said at the start, like these first few years, it ain't about making money. Like whilst I'm still living at home, whilst I'm fortunate to not really be paying many bills yet, whilst it's like the time where I need to be investing in myself and really putting in this work, where everything I'm sort of earning, I'm investing it back in with what I'm doing. So yeah.
Bro, this has been a good conversation. I was just looking at the time. That's all. Like, it's mad. But bro, like, it's, you know, when you hit me up, I was kind of like, oh, you know, let's see. Yeah. But you know what? I've really enjoyed it, and it's like hearing your story, like, it's sick. And like, I know, like, definitely, I know you got a big thing coming. Like, I know you're probably, hopefully, that you're gonna get Ocean Beach next year. Yeah, that'd be good to see that. Definitely.
Yeah, big look.
And like, I wanna hear this track. I want to hear this track that's going to come out. Give me a preview.
I'll send it you, bro.
Okay, fun. Cool, bro. Take care, yeah?
Big love, man.
I appreciate everyone locking in. I'm back on live in like 5 minutes. But
enjoy, bro.
But cool. Cheers, bro. Bye.